Om
Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Jaya Shri Krishna Let's continue as usual. 15 times of Hare Krishna. Please chant along with me. Yes?
Akshita join the call.
Hare Krishna Akshita, thank you for joining. So we're going to say the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 15 times. Please sing along with me, okay? Please recite along with me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Thank you all very much for beautifully reciting along with me. Hope this inspires you to chant more rounds. Okay, so let's move on to the shlokas for
No battery again.
this course, which is the first one is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. So, who wants to recite the shloka?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, so first Ashutosh.
Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Gangopangastra Prasadam Yajna Sanketana Yajanti.
No, here, Mataji, we have to.
Okay. Okay, why don't Jagannath go next? Akshita, you can sing next, okay? Yes, Jagannath can recite now.
Krishnavandam Krishnam Sango Parashadam Yagne Sankirtane Praye Yayanti Sumedasha.
Very nice, Jagannath.
Ramachandra.
Akshita, you can go ahead.
Krishnavarnam Krishnam Sango Pangasra Parashadam Yagne Sankirtana Praye
Very nice, Akshita. Thank you. Okay. Yes, I will give you a chance. Before I go ahead, may I please request all of you to mute your phones? Only the person who is speaking can unmute it, please. Okay. Now, Ramachandra, you can go ahead.
Navanam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasta Prasadam Yagne Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Hi Sumedashaha.
Very nice. Thank you. Aura, you wanted to recite?
Okay. Krishnavarnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasta Prasadam Yajanti Sumedashaha.
Very nice, Aura. Krishna, yes, go ahead.
Krishnavarnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasta Prasadam Yagne Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Hi Sumedashaha.
Very nice. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yes, Mataji. Chinmay.
Chinmay, yes, go ahead.
Krishnavarnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopangastapasadam Yajna Sankirtana Praye Yajanti Sumedasha.
Thank you, Chinmay. Very nice. Who else? Okay. So let me go through the translation. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Okay. So in this shloka we are talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
So he said that the complexion is not blackish. So what was his complexion? Does anybody know?
Golden.
Golden. Okay, good. And he is Krishna himself, but is he just Krishna or is he a combination of somebody else?
Radharani. He's a combination of Krishna Radharani.
Yes, he's a combination of Krishna and Radharani. Very nice. Okay.
How did that happen?
Okay, fine. So let's move on to the next shloka, which is Srimad Bhagavatam 12.2.52. Who wants to recite this shloka?
Chandra. Jagannath. Akshita. Jagannath.
Okay, Ramachandra, you wanted to say first.
Advaito Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Makha Dvapare Parichayayam Halo Taddai Kirtanat.
Okay, very nice. Okay, Akshita, I will give you a chance after Jagannath. Jagannath, you can go ahead.
Krite Yajjayato Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Makha Dvapare Paricharyayam Halo Taddai Hari Kirtanat.
Very nice, Jagannath. Thank you. Akshita, you can go ahead. Thank you, Akshita. Very nice. Krishna, you can go ahead. Very nice, Chinmay. Thank you. So next Krishna can go ahead.
I was
Thank
asking,
you,
what is
Krishna.
this one?
Mataji,
Thank you
can
for
I
this
Prathamesh
information.
ko?
All of you can go ahead.
Sataya Thayo To Vishnu Tretaya
Well, there's 2 or 3 people who are together. Okay. Who was that? There were 2 or 3 people. Can we please wait for your for our chance to say the shloka? Otherwise, it creates a lot of disturbance. Okay. Does anybody else want to recite now?
Can I go Prathamesh? No.
Okay, Prathamesh, you go ahead.
Kirteyadhayo to Vishnam Tretayam Yajito Mukha Vapare Paricharyayam Kalotadhari Kirtanat.
Very nice. Very nice recitation. Thank you. Who else? Aurav, go ahead.
But the only thing is, we want to ensure that the kids have a little bit of everything, because it should not be like a full temple program.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you please mute your phones? It is disturbing to the class. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Aurav. Thank you. Very nice. Anybody else?
No.
Okay. Okay, so we'll quickly read the translation. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay. So today we're going to learn a special set of 8 verses called Sikshashtakam. Many of you must be already knowing the 8 verses, but we're going to learn it in this course because it is very much in connection to our topic of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, so let's see a little bit of history about Sikshashtakam before we learn the verses. So Sikshashtakam, what it means? Siksha means instruction and Ashtakam means 8. So Sikshashtakam means a set of 8 instructions. And who gave these instructions? These were instructions from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, but he did not. Yes, that's right. So he did not compose these 8 verses, one by one after the other. He did not write it in one series. He actually gave these instructions here and there at different times. So here these 8 verses were spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but it was not compiled as a series of 8 verses. It was spoken at different times here and there. And his disciple, Srila Rupa Goswami, he included these 8 verses in his devotional prayers called as Padyavali. Okay, that was what he wrote, Padyavali. And Krishna Raja Kaviraja Goswami, he combined these 8 verses from the Padyavali. Even in the Padyavali, it was not in one series, okay? It was in here and there. And he combined these 8 verses and wrote it in his book called Chaitanya Charitamrita. Remember? Krishna Raja Kaviraj Goswami is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he wrote these 8 verses as a series in his last canto. Okay? And these set of 8 verses, they represent Lord Chaitanya's mission. What he wanted to follow, what he wanted people to follow, that is there in these 8 verses already. Okay? So this is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. So even if somebody doesn't read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, if he has full faith in these 8 verses and if he understands this, then it is the essence, like the cream, they say, cream of the milk, that is the most tastiest. So the essence is the cream of the, it's like the cream of the milk, that if you know this, then that is the highest. You don't need to know anything else. If you have full faith in this and if you understand this, then it is enough. So why it is said so is because mainly Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stresses on chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And we may think that, it is so simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sometimes, because in different yugas they perform so many different types of austerities, sometimes it appears as though chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very simple. How does this constitute as devotional service? But that is the essence. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it has so much of power. It has so much of transcendental vibration that just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you can awaken your love of God. And if we chant these 8 verses of Shikshashtakam every day, then we can get pure love of Krishna. That is our goal. Okay. From there are 9 stages of devotional service. So when we say Krishna Prema, Prema is the highest stage. So if we chant these 8 verses every day regularly with faith, then we can easily obtain Krishna Prema one day. Okay. So that is how much important it is, Shikshashtakam. Okay. So let's move on into the first verse of the Shikshashtakam today. We are going to, some of you might be already knowing, but for the sake of those who don't know, please repeat after me. I'm going to split it up a little bit and then please repeat after me. Cheto darpanamarjanam, Bhavamaha, Dhamagni nirvapanam, Davagni nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika,
Vidya
Vitaranam Vidya Sadhu Jivanam, Anandambudivardhanam, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam Param, Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Okay, one more time. Cheto darpanamarjanam, Bhavamaha, Davagni nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Anandambudivardhanam Pratipadam, Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Okay, one more time, please repeat sincerely because this is very important to learn. Okay. So darpanamarjanam, Bhavamaha Davagni nirvapanam, श्रेयकैरव चन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मा स्नपनम् परम विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् Okay, thank you all very much for repeating. Let us see what this means in detail. So I'm going to read the translation once and then I'm going to explain. Translation: Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar of which we are always anxious. Can you all please mute your phones? Okay, thank you. So the first line, it explains Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This means that in our conditional life, in our material life, we are so overflooded, our heart is overflooded with so much of dust, material association from time immemorial. What it means, from birth after birth, from lot of births, we have been accumulating a lot of dust. And what is this dust? That we are thinking that we are this material body and we want to make our senses and minds happy with material things. That is what is the dust that has been accumulated for years. So here it is compared with a mirror. If a mirror has a lot of dust accumulated on top, then if somebody wants to see their face in it, then they cannot see their real face because of so much of dust. Okay, so we have to clean this dust before we can see the real face. Similarly, the dust which is accumulated in our hearts for so many lifetimes together, it has to be cleaned before we can originally understand who we are. Okay, what is the dust here? It is a misconception. It is a misunderstanding that we are the body. Once we understand that we are not this body and we are the soul, then we can understand our original identity as a servant of Krishna. Okay, so that is what is our dust, our misunderstanding or misconception. That is the dust. Okay, so how do we remove this dust? By chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay, that's why Sri Krishna Sankirtana is stressed here. Chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years. Okay, so once you understand our real identity, that we are not the body and we are the soul, then the blazing fire of material life, of repeated birth and death, that can be extinguished. So the fire, why this is compared with the fire is because it is like when the forest fire comes, it spreads and it completely overtakes us. So when we are in this misconception of rotating in the cycle of birth and death, then we are so much into illusion that we are not able to even come out of it. So once we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it cleanses the heart, and then we start to understand that we are not the body and we are the soul, and the happiness of the soul is most important. when we understand this, then we can come out of the fire of conditional life. Okay, so that is one part. And then the third line says Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Everybody is looking for Ananda or joy or happiness. And everybody thinks that by satisfying our senses and mind in a materialistic way, we can be happy. So, for example, let's take that we are eating something. How much can we eat? An ice cream. Maybe one ice cream. Then second ice cream will still feel good. Third ice cream will still feel good. Fourth one, not so good, but anyway, you have it. Then fifth one, you will start feeling it is boring. How much can you eat? Anything for that matter. So, you can't eat more than more than a limit. So, we cannot find permanent happiness with material things. Similarly, we can extend this to anything else, not just eating. So, by satisfying our senses or by satisfying our mind with things that can make us happy, we are not going to be permanently happy. It's probably very temporary happiness. So, if we want permanent happiness, then we want to have transcendental bliss. Here we have to understand the difference between the word happiness and bliss. Happiness is that which is on the material platform. And when we say transcendental bliss, it's on a different platform. That we are not actually making our senses and minds happy. We are actually experiencing more happiness by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because it takes us out of the illusion of material suffering. How much ever we try to make ourselves happy in the material world, ultimately again we will be into misery, because happiness and distress will keep on alternating in this material world. So we are going to feel miserable ultimately. But when we feel transcendental bliss, we transcend or we overcome this duality of happiness and sadness. So we will be able to become very satisfied and very blissful, very happy by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Okay, that's why it says Sarvatma Snapanam. One becomes very satisfied. That is what is the meaning of Sarvatma Snapanam. Padam Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. What does it say? All glories to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Okay, this is the meaning of this verse. Why we say Vijayate is all victory. All glories, all victory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Because this is a prime benediction for humanity at large. This is like a, an offer that Krishna has given us, that in Kali Yuga, by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you can clear all the dust and you can go back to Krishna easily. That's why even in Kalki Avatara we saw that, even some of the demigods, they want to take birth in Kali Yuga, because it is a very easy method. Although it is very easy, not everybody understands the importance of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Sometimes, people even tease the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Sometimes people, mockingly say it. But everything has an effect, because it is a transcendental vibration. That's why the Shri Krishna Sankirtana is prime benediction for us in the Kali Yuga. Okay, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought this to us and given us so much of mercy. Does anybody have any questions regarding this verse? Did you all understand?
No. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, I know 3 stanzas.
You know 3 stanzas? Okay. Does somebody wanted to ask a question? Can we please listen to that?
Mataji, this is Ashutosh. I just had a question.
Yes.
You know how Krishna says that just chanting the thing will, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will, you will be purified from that dust?
Yes.
You're chanting it, but you're kind of meaning it, but you're not meaning it. You're kind of meaning to say it, but you're not kind of meaning to say it.
What do you mean? Can you please be a little louder, Ashutosh? I can't understand your question fully.
Krishna says that if you say the Maha Mantra, you will get purified, right?
Yes.
If we say Mahamantra and we don't kind of no devotion, will he still take us?
I can't hear you clearly, Ashutosh. That part of the question. The second part of the question.
Yeah, Mataji, he's meaning it that, come out please. He's meaning that if we are saying the Mahamantra, but we still do not have the feeling or we do not have the devotion by which we are saying it, will Krishna still take us back?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Ashutosh, for such a beautiful question. Yes, this is a very important thing that we have to understand as well, that by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are cleansing the dust. So initially what happens is we may not have so much of feeling continuously when we do it, because our heart is so much completely covered with dust that we may not really feel a connection with Krishna immediately. It will take some time. That's why, when people ask that I've been chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for so many days, for so many months, still I'm not feeling any difference. Why is that so? That is because so much of dust is there in our heart that we may not be able to immediately connect with Krishna. But if we do this with faith and understanding that it is going to cleanse all the dust, then we will be able to one day relish it and sing it with feeling or chant with feeling to Krishna. That will happen one day. Krishna will definitely reveal a little bit of transcendental bliss so that we will be able to do more. Okay, so initially even if you don't have any feelings, you still do it because you know that it is going to help you one day. It is going to cleanse your dust and you are going to feel love for Krishna. Okay.
I have another question.
Yes, Ashutosh.
And thank you for answering my question. But I have another question too.
Yes.
What if you have a lot of bad karma and everything, but you also chanted like some like you chanted for a while? Will that like take away your bad karma?
Very nice question. So what happens is when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, our dust, our material contamination, which has been accumulating in our heart for so many years and even birth after birth, that is going to slowly get erased. But it depends on how much bad karma you have accumulated from the past. For some people it may be less, for some people it may be more. So we cannot say that, just by chanting Hare Krishna it's going to completely erase your bad karma, because you have to have a connection with the parampara. You have to connect with the Guru. And then if you follow the instructions of the Guru or completely, with full heart, then even then a portion of your karma can get erased or nullified. But the chanting of the Hare Krishna will slowly erase all the dirt, and it will also slowly erase your bad karma as well. But it's going to take a lot of time. We cannot immediately see a obvious effect in our life. Okay, so we have to chant continuously with faith. We cannot immediately conclude that nothing is happening, because we have accumulated so much of dust for so many lifetimes. So we have to chant for a long time in order to see a positive difference in our life. Okay, for some people, yes, sometimes Krishna gives a little bit of transcendental bliss, like he gave for Narada Muni. Narada Muni, when he was a small boy, he was trying to meditate on Krishna. So what he did, Krishna just came, and when he was closing his eyes, he gave a quick darshan to Narada Muni, so that Narada Muni feels more desire or more attraction for Krishna. So then he vanished suddenly. Just that for that 1 second he came, and then he gave darshan to Narada Muni in his mind, and then he just vanished. So Narada Muni was so anxious to see Krishna, and because of that desire, he did more. He chanted more, and he did more devotional service. So that's how Krishna gives a little bit of desire in the initial stage sometimes. for people to get attached to Krishna so that you develop faith. Yes, this is going to work. But depending on how much dust, how much bad karma we have, it's going to take that much time. Did you get the point, Ashutosh?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for asking those questions. Really appreciate. And so let's revise a little bit from our first lesson of Mercy of Lord Chaitanya. This is our verse for today, and then we will continue tomorrow with the next verse for Shikshashtakam. And before we conclude, I want to revise a little bit of Lord Chaitanya, Mercy of Lord Chaitanya, lesson 1. Okay. So what did we learn in lesson 1? We learned about the Brahmin in South India called Vasudev. Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions about Vasudev. Okay. Ready for the questions?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Vasudev was a dirty person. Vasudev was a devotee. Which one is true?
Vasudev was a great devotee.
Vasudev was a great devotee. Okay. How do you say that he was a devotee? Because he was having so much of, what do you say, the pus and all the sores on the body. And he wasn't even caring about his body, and the worms were there on his body, and he was trying to put the worms back into its place. The worms which had fallen down, he was trying to put it back into its place. So from a material point of view, he looked so dirty. How do you say that he was such a nice devotee?
Because he prayed to Lord Krishna. Because he prayed to Lord Krishna, and like how you said, Mataji, he gently placed it down. He gently placed the worms down, so he's not like just throwing it down. Because
he was actually, the worms which had fallen down, he took the worms and placed it back on his body. So what do you get out of that? What is the main message from that?
He was caring for the living entities.
Yes. He was very kind. Yes, very kind to other living entities. And that is one of the most important qualities of devotees. Okay, so that's why you can say that he was such a nice devotee. And of course, because he was
kind for the living entities.
Yes. One thing is he was caring for the living entities, and second thing is because he was thinking about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was thinking about Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Okay. So, when others did not even want to come near Vasudev, what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu do when he came to Vasudev?
He hugged him.
Hugged him. Yes, that's true.
Hugged him tight.
Hugged him tight. And after he hugged him, what happened to Vasudev?
He had a beautiful body. He looked beautiful.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for all the answers. So all his sores vanished, and he got a beautiful body. Okay, so the next part is, what do you understand from this story about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
If you think of any problem you have will go away, he will come and be happy for you. He is very merciful. If you think of Krishna, then sometimes will come true.
All of the things that you are saying is all true. That's true. But what do you understand about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from this?
Very merciful. He is great.
Yes.
He's really merciful. He's kind.
Merciful to the devotees.
He's very kind.
Yes, that's true. Thank you. Okay, and then what are the ways by which you can show kindness to other living entities?
Name 2 ways. Take others out of his habitat, you can Kids like tickets and leave them within their body. If it is out of its habitat, you can put it back in its habitat. What?
Okay. Yeah, that's not true. Especially for people who have disability, we can show kindness by treating them like how we treat anybody else. We don't have to see them with little, odd view or odd behavior. Okay, that makes them feel bad. Okay, that is one thing. And of course, to other living entities, to animals, yes, you can show kindness by being kind to them. And also you can tell others, how it is important to be kind to others, okay, especially to people who have disability. If somebody else is mocking at somebody who has disability, then you can explain to them gently how it feels. Okay. So let's stop here with our revision and Shikshashtakam words. Those who don't know the Shikshashtakam, please try to learn it over a period of time, although not from the exam point of view, but over a period of time. If you can learn this and recite this every day, that will be nice. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we conclude? So we are going to see the Shikshashtakam words, word by word, and we are going to learn this next week also, and then we will have our exam. Okay. So for 2 weeks we are going to learn Shikshashtakam. Okay. Thank you all very much for cooperating.